Okay, we are here as members of the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights of the Palestinian People. We have just met with the Secretary General about the whole situation prevailing right now in the OPT and in the Middle East. We have had a very fruitful conversation with him. We have had very good exchanges, and we were very delighted to be briefed about his intention to visit the region very soon. And the committee and himself, the Secretary General, we agreed that the situation is very, very difficult, and that we need really to make sure that attention is still kept on that region and make sure that all the needed steps are taken. First, I think what we need to do is to make sure that the protection of the Palestinians is preserved and enhanced, and we also make sure that we can find a way of reinvigorating the peace process in the region. The situation is very bad, and we really need to keep focused and make sure that the people, the plight of the Palestinian people is not left to be lingering all the time, and we really need to take steps. That's why we really encourage the Secretary General to go forward and have his visit made as soon as possible. So I'm going to give the floor to my colleagues who want to make additional comments.
Why don't we let our friend, the vice chair of the committee from Cuba, to take the floor after the chairman?
Well, thank you. I just have to subscribe entirely what was said by the chair of the committee, and maybe just to underline that all of us made the point that today is even more important that the international community can address the Palestinian issue as it is. I mean, it's an entire violation of the principles and purposes of the Charter, and we need to call the attention of the international community to a thorough solution to the Palestinian people, particularly based on the two-state solution. Thank you.
Do you want to say something, Tata? I'll speak at the end.
Well, thank you. Fully subscribe to what has been said by our chair and my colleague from Cuba. The point is that the people in the Palestine and the OPT are suffering, and we need to keep our focus on ensuring to be able to address this issue. And again, we need the international community to keep its momentum and to keep its focus in helping the Palestinian people.
Okay. Anybody wants to speak? Okay. Well, I want to begin by expressing the gratitude of the State of Palestine to my colleagues, to the chairman of the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights of the Palestinian People, my brother Cheikh Niang, the Ambassador of Senegal, and the other vice chairs of the committee, the Ambassador of Nicaragua, the Ambassador of Indonesia, the Ambassador of Malaysia, and my brother and comrade, the Ambassador of Cuba, Pedro. We, as a leadership of the Committee on the Exercise of the Inalienable Rights, met with the Secretary General, and as the chairman has indicated, it was a constructive, positive, meeting with the Secretary General. We succeeded through dialogue with him over the last number of months that he was convinced to go and visit Palestine, and he will visit, of course, the other side, Israel, as well. And the meeting, the visit is extremely important at this moment, as we have indicated to him, and he agreed that the Palestinian people, who are very fed up and frustrated and angered by the brutality of this Israeli occupation and the terrorist settlers, a visit from the Secretary General of the UN and what the UN represent and what multilateralism represent to all of us is extremely significant and important. We are happy and delighted that we are in the stage of preparing for this visit with the Secretary General to take place as soon as possible. And also we raised other important issues related to the Palestine question, the protection issue and expanding existing mechanism as the General Assembly requested from the SG, and he is willing to do so. So we need to intensify the discussions of the details with the Secretary General in terms of contributing to the protection of the Palestinian people, because when you live the horror of Hawara and the horror of Tormus Aya and towns and villages, and the UN that has large presence on the ground not to be able to contribute significantly is depressing to the Palestinian people. But if the UN, and we believe it will, contribute to the process of providing protection to the civilian population, is something that is needed and something that we will be continuing to work on it. And finally, we raise the issue that we need a political horizon. We cannot accept that the current extremist and fascist government of the State of Israel to dictate the pace of the plight of the people, whether the Palestinians or the Israelis, but it is all of us, the international community, should be involved in order to dictate the pace for the implementation of the two-state solution on the basis of international law and UN relevant resolutions that would lead to the end of the occupation and the independence of the State of Palestine on the borders of the 4th of June of 1967 with East Jerusalem as its capital. I think the meeting, the SG just came back from his summer vacation, and to be meeting with us as perhaps the first or among the first meetings that he was involved in is an important signal that we appreciate, and we committed to him that the committee will continue to work with the SG for the advancement of the mandate by the General Assembly to us and to him in seeing peace and the end of this tragedy of the Palestinian people as quickly as possible, and to fulfill the global consensus on the two-state solution that require the end of occupation. I think that this is the message that we wanted to share with you, and we thank you for being with us, those who are here and those who are listening to us and seeing us in their offices in the building.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I thought that you won. Okay,
No,
very
that's
good.
fine.
Thank you.